How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Turmentic, and here we are at Let's Talk MetaZoo. We're going to talk about the distribution information that we just got and the March 7th. I want to break all that down because that was a lot. I got caught up. I have the computer in front of me. I was watching the intro, and it's like 3 seconds behind. But how is everybody doing tonight? I had thought about doing a long form video of this and trying to break it down, but between not having a lot of time and editing and stuff, I figured this would be easier just to go over all of it, get all of my thoughts out there. Also, at the same time, if anybody has any questions, I can at least see your questions. I don't know if I'll be able to answer them. Probably won't be able to, honestly. Yeah, what's up, Mesopotamia? I see Escaped Alien. How you doing, EA? Good to see you. This is odd for me too because I don't ever really do any sort of like market speculation, anything like that. I kind of like have stayed away from that as a channel, but like this, especially with the resurgence of MetaZoo coming back, I'm trying to chronicleize its rise again. So this was a huge announcement that we actually got. Dean, what's up, dude? How are you doing? I know you're in the middle of your workday over there. But this was a huge announcement, and this, honestly, in my opinion, answered a lot of questions that the community at large had. Of course, it posed more questions, but we at least kind of have an answer on that, and that's more. I'm looking at the marketing ideas and stuff, which we'll cover. Um, so yeah, like this, I feel a lot of people were kind of apprehensive still, just because we hadn't got any sort of information on when like pre-orders and stuff like that actually were going to happen. Let me switch this out. Phone is charged. Boom. Put the mic. And the big thing that we got yesterday was them, like I said, introducing the distribution partners and starting the process of how people actually get signed up with them. I actually have the whole thing here, so give me 2 seconds and I will bring it up. Actually, first, timeout. I jumped the gun. Before we start going over the distribution partners and the marketing timeline and all that stuff, I found out today that the episode of Pawn Stars that Gary Haas filmed, introducing them to MetaZoo, actually aired, or there were clips of it or something, and I saw a clip of it on YouTube. And it was just, honestly, I took a couple still pictures. I just wanted to point this out. It was kind of cool on 2 points. One, MetaZoo is about to come back out with their base set next month. This right here was them actually talking about the old cards, about like RetroZoo, of course. This is actually a sample sheet that I believe Gary had, an uncut sample sheet. And this is just, like I said, a couple stills I took from the actual episode. But this was really cool to me because, again, that's just one of those, even if somebody, they see the episode and it's just mentioned subliminally, they would have heard the name. So if they'd never been exposed to anything whatsoever, they at least heard the name now at least once. And Pawn Stars is a huge show. So like that lining up with the whole MetaZoo coming back in a month, the base and everything, that was a kind of a cool coincidence I wanted to actually point out. But to the matter at hand, this is the announcement that we got actually in the Discord. I'm going to read through it real quick. Distribution partners and marketing timeline. We are so excited to share our distribution partners who are offering MetaZoo TCG to qualifying retailers. Partners will be live for ordering and new retailer applications this week. Now, these are the 5 that they announced. We have GTS, who is actually one that when I worked at the comic book store, that's actually one that we used a lot. Mad Owl. We have Cardio, which is, if you are familiar with Caster Society or Chris, that is actually Cardio. They were the guys that actually made the online client originally for RetroZoo. They're also the ones, I know that they made the MPN app, but I'm not sure if they made the MPN itself. I want to assume that they did because I know that they've kind of used the MPN format on other games. So that's cool to actually have Chris and Cardio back. We have ACD Distribution, who I've not heard of, and SP Images, who I'm not familiar with either. But those are the 5 that the 5 distribution partners that MetaZoo has signed up with. I'm assuming that these are mostly North American distributors as well too. I honestly don't know if they have any sort of reach outside of the US. But reading down the rest of it, it says ordering will be open this week from these companies. Later this week, we will put out additional information about banner distributors participating in our retailer onboarding program. The retailer onboarding program is a joint effort focused on making sure that business traditionally outside of the standard industry distribution channels have the opportunity to order MetaZoo TCG. This program will allow relatively newer TCG businesses, live e-commerce oriented businesses, online-only TCG businesses, and other non-physical retailers with legitimate online commercial activity who meet certain minimum qualifying standards to build their business with MetaZoo TCG and participate in our retail ecosystem. Our retail onboarding program is in conjunction with our strong distribution support for traditional brick and mortar and LGS partners. Now, I've come to, figure out, through the discords that I believe Cardio is the big distributor that a lot of the older partners that were online. This program specifically was designed in order to be able to give access to those online only stores. That a lot of times, if you don't have a brick and mortar store, it's really hard for you to set up and get distribution access to some of the bigger distributors. And so that's what this program was kind of set up, was to allow them to actually get allocations from, I know, at least Cardio. I'm not sure if they actually have onboarding processes for the other ones, but I do believe there is potentially some sort of onboarding process maybe for the other 4 distributors. And I personally, I know this was a really big thing because there were a lot of specifically partner stores from back in the day with RetroZoo who were specifically only online. They didn't have a brick and mortar store. Some of them owned teams. They owned they ran teams. They all went to all competitions, but they were strictly just an online business. And I think this is why it took so long for us to get distribution information, was because they were trying to get this set up to where those people could get allocated for MetaZoo. So I just thought was kind of interesting and wanted to point out. We don't know, honestly, anything about print run, though. We don't know anything about numbers, anything like that. So we don't know what distributor is allocated what, because we don't know any final numbers. And I don't know when we'll get any actual numbers of what the full print run and stuff is. But they have information actually in the Discord. There's a link inside the video. If you are a online retailer, I'm assuming most of the people who are going to be watching this aren't online retailers. They're more just the consumers trying to figure out how they can actually get product. So I would definitely, if you are actually a consumer trying to find product, I know that there actually have been a couple inside of the main Discord that have actually posted. I know that there are Facebook groups that actually have different partners that actually were trying to get pre-orders to actually where you can buy stuff from them as well too. So if you're looking for stuff, there's ample ways for you to be able to find product. Honestly, if you can't find it, just ask. Somebody else probably can. The next thing I really am excited to talk about is the marketing timeline. We really honestly had no idea what they were going to do and how they were going to show us the new zoo. And there were talks of I remember seeing a screenshot somebody shared at one point of a job posting for, I think it was GQL, where they were trying to hire an advertising manager or something like that. And one of the snippets that people kept quoting is that it was going to be $1 million marketing campaign you were going to have to actually be in lead at. And I know a couple of weeks ago, people were actually laughing where's that $1 million going? Well, here, to be honest with you, I'm just gonna read through it, and then, like I said, we'll actually go through and break down different ones. So marketing timeline. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take a sip of my Sprite real quick. On March 7th, we will come out with MetaZoo Direct, an information-packed video announcement exploring our live action launch trailer, our product details including alternative art box reveal, our website reveal, including stories from the MetaZoo universe, learn to play video series, alpha demo packs, and opportunities to get them, card creation from the creation of the art to the printing of the cards, our distribution partners in more detail, our 2025 convention series, alternate retail options, international partners, future research and development projects, and teasers for our first expansion. In late March, we will share the full live action trailer in the lead up to our street date and convention series kickoff. March 29th, meet us in Miami for the first convention stop, where we will have artist signings, promotional giveaways, including 2025 convention series promos and an exclusive poster, alpha demo packs and alpha promo packs, limited quantity, and base set product while supplies last. Okay. That's a ton, like, that we're going to get literally from March 7th until the 28th. And I'm still kind of not sure how to articulate how excited I am that we get a live action launch trailer. And I understand it probably is only going to be like maybe 2.5, 5 minutes. Okay, that's all it's going to be. Maybe I have no idea. That's still like an act. Like, what? Yeah, I'm that was the thing that kind of really caught my attention the most, kind of caught my eye. And I mean, of course, I'm the lore guy, I'm the story guy. Of course it's going to. But that amount of detail is not something we actually saw before with Old Admin. That alone, the live action launch trailer, I'm stoked about. I'm completely stoked about. They talk about the yeah, that's huge for expansion and longevity of the game. Like, it's something that, and it's different. Okay, I wasn't gonna go off on it, but I'm gonna go off on it. It's different, in my opinion, than just written words, because it's a visual. It's something that you can see, and especially with it being live action instead of it being animated. Animated, I honestly, I personally thought they were gonna have an animated short of some sort, but for it to be live action, it takes it to a different level and it gets a different meaning, because maybe not you personally, but think of all of the kids, the young adults, the parents with their kids who are going to be watching this for the first time, getting exposed to MetaZoo for the first time. And it's a live action thing where they can literally see themselves, whatever it is, being the person that's in it. Like, that's the power of something that's live action versus animation. And there are drawbacks. You can do way more sometimes with effects with animation versus live action, but that ability to be able to draw people in to see, that's me. Like, I love it. Like I said, the live action trailer is something I did not expect at all. It completely took me out of left field, and I still don't fully know how to articulate how important and big that is, honestly, really. And I know I geek out, the story, lore, like longevity of the franchise. That is the first. That's just okay. So anyway, move past that, because I'll just talk about that the whole time. What's up, Catching Cryptids? How you doing tonight, buddies? The next thing on it was the product details, including the alternate box art reveal. Okay, so that I read into that a little bit more, and so we're, yes, on the surface we're getting an alt box of some sort. It's somewhere, where was it? I think it's actually in the, let me see if I can pull that up real quick, because this is the actual, yeah, that's the actual advert that's for it. Let me pull that up over here on the good old Discords. Actually, no, hold on a second. Oh, look at that. I can just read it right here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's where it was. This actually states that Poncho was the one that did the alternate box. I thought I saw that. I thought I read that somewhere. We don't know anything. We don't know anything about the art, though. We don't know how many boxes are actually going to be out there. We don't know, like, any sort of. I'm trying to actually see if I can pull up the advert real quick so I can actually just read it, but I can't. Okay, so that is the that's the actual distribution, the flyer though, that I believe Cardio was actually sending out. The original one on it actually had a date of, I believe, February 15th, that the deadline, but that was actually corrected to I believe March 17th. That's what it says on the new flyer. But yeah, we're getting an alt box. We have no idea anything about it. We don't know if the contents are going to be different. I don't think that. I really hope it's not, to be honest with you, just because I don't like the idea of certain things being locked behind certain things, if that makes sense. Like, I love the approach that I've seen being spoken about is about everyone being able to play, everyone being able to do things. And so I really hope that there isn't stuff that's locked behind the alt boxes. We don't know. See, that's the thing, Josh. We don't know if the alt boxes come in a case. We don't know if they're going to be randomly inserted. We don't know anything really at all about that. That's part of what I guess they're going to start explaining to us on the 7th. So going back from that, it was the art reveal of the box. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing too. It says our product details. If you think about it, there's never been talk of anything but a booster box. And I don't feel like that's the only thing they're releasing. I don't know if they'll do spell books. I don't know if they'll do REBs. I don't know if they'll do theme decks. I could see maybe blisters, but they have not said anything about any other product but the booster box. And I think that line right there was teasing towards that. Our product details, including alternate box reveal. So I feel like they have a lot more different products maybe that they haven't actually said anything about, because I went back and actually looked through the Discord. I went back and actually looked through the announcements and like the other socials, and like the only thing I've seen mentioned so far is a booster box. So that's that. I remember somebody was asking a question earlier in the Discord or something about like the other products, and that's kind of what I think is going on. Is I think we'll get more information about those products from the 7th forward. Because like that's the thing. All of this is planned. Like, you can just see from all of the details and the information that all of this has been meticulously planned. So I'm honestly starting to believe if we haven't been told something, there's a reason why. I don't think, like, as I know, like, again, a lot of people were like, oh no, they haven't released distribution info and this and that and that. And I think some of it is on purpose. I think some of it is so they can do things literally like Charlie said, like I think it was 2 months ago or so, when he about like the ramp is going to be insane or something like that. I'm starting to kind of get that feeling that from the 7th until the 29th at Collecticon, it's just going to be nonstop. This is who we are. This is what we're bringing to the table. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried if you don't see specific products that you're used to. I wouldn't be worried about any of that, because I think as we get closer, specifically to the 28th, when things are dry, I think we're going to see a lot more quicker than we expect. Let me check over here. People, 2 theme decks would be nicer than 5. I agree. Less theme decks would be cool, Josh. I agree. What's up, Charles? How you doing, buddies? I like the mystery. The more, the longer, the better for me. And that's why I wanted to say that, because like I don't think they're withholding information because they don't have it or because they don't want to give it to us. I think it's honestly because they have a plan and they're sticking to that plan. I mean, you got to remember, honestly, we are used to Andy going into the Discord and posting something real quick and then deleting it 30 seconds later, or Mike accidentally leaking something for the next set, or like, so we're used to all of this stuff, and like they're keeping it almost more professional. Like I don't know. They just have, like I said, they have their timeline and they're sticking to it. And like, I can kind of see why we haven't gotten all the information we want yet. All right, moving on. Our website reveal. Okay. So we're going to get an actual website. Everybody know people have been asking for the website. The website is actually coming back, including stories from the MetaZoo universe. So that is plural. That is more than one story. Okay, so lore wise, all right. So lore wise, just take a step back. We're getting the live action launch trailer, and now we have multiple stories of the MetaZoo universe. They're not waiting until the product is out. They're not waiting until this or that. They're hitting the ground running. It looks like expanding this universe, exploring what this universe of MetaZoo is. Um, Josh, I have plans on that. Like I've said before, if Meta 2 doesn't do anything with the old Sam story, I'm gonna probably finish it myself. Um, but multiple stories though is I'm excited. I you know me again, lore story. I that's what I want. The investment in the characters, figuring out things about them, why you care about certain cryptids or certain characters. Those are the important things to be because, and again, we've already used the word in this live stream, longevity. The thing that drives longevity is the desire to actually want something. And if you want something, it's because you basically have made it a part of you. You want to collect every single cryptid card that's a Mothman because for some reason Mothman is your dude. So it's just I can't wait. I hope that in those stories too, they really give us the concrete basics. Casting, like what exactly is casting? Is contracting still a thing? How does magic actually work? We got kind of some answers, but like those are the fundamental things that need to be explained so it can be expanded upon. Um, and that's another reason why I kind of wanted to do this live stream versus actually just do a long form video is because I wanted to show you the excitement that I actually have with this stuff because like I see them actually creating that universe that we never got fully fleshed out. So I just all right. So yeah, the website reveal including stories from the MetaZoo universe, learn to play video series. So there'll be multiple videos actually explaining how to play, which is again something I don't know how they're going to distribute those videos. I kind of hope that they use YouTube to be honest with you, because I never felt like the old MetaZoo utilized YouTube at all. And that would just be huge to be able to be like, yeah, just go directly to their channel. You can find how to play the game immediately, boom, just like that. I'm interested to see why it's series though. It like so different strategies maybe they'll actually go into the different card types. Maybe they'll actually explain how the different cryptids work with other cryptids because like I don't know if they're actually keeping what was it oh god, what was it from Retro Zoo? I can't even remember. It wasn't families, I can't remember what it was, but the same beastie types that actually but like fearsome critters, things like that. I don't know if they're keeping any of that, but I could probably do individual videos, I would assume, on the different card types, the different ways you play the game, like actually taking you through a full game. Tribe, that's what it was. Tribe. Thank you. So yeah, because I've noticed in some of their posts, like the posts that they put in, like their announcements, they use old terminology, but then sometimes I've noticed that they use new terminology. So I don't know if it's a combination of two, maybe. Um, I don't know if Moldy honestly will come back and make learn to play stuff because he is head first and deep in Nom Nom. He's one of the three actual creators of that. So I don't know if he's actually going to come back and cover MetaZoo anymore. But yeah, so we get a full learn to play video series. Then we have alpha demo packs and opportunities to get them. I have no idea, honestly, what any of those opportunities would be, whether it's a live stream or something like that. This was super interesting. Card creation from the creation of the art to the printing of the cards. So I took that as they're going to somehow tell the story of certain cards, I guess, from creation to printing. And that's a really cool concept, depending on how they actually go about that. Like they could focus on the card, they could focus on the cryptid, they could focus on the artist, they could focus on how the card affects gameplay. Like there's so many different ways that they could show that and give out good information, I'm really, really excited to actually see what that exactly is. Our distribution partners in more detail, I would assume that would include the Australian distro that I know that they've actually already lined up, and I'm assuming the European distro that they have lined up, because we saw like last week, I think it was, it kind of like, it seems like it set all this off. We saw pre-orders actually up in Italy on eBay, and I would assume that they have to have a European distributor for that, but I don't know. We haven't seen an announcement or anything about a European distributor. But if they have one, then we'll definitely get it when they actually go in more detail on them. This next one I know answered a lot of people's questions too. It says our 2025 convention series. I've been saying for a minute now, I don't think that the first four Collecticon are these four Collecticons that they're going to, because I know that they just missed LA this weekend, I think, or next. It's either, I can't remember. It's one of these 2 weeks. I didn't think that they were just going to go to Collecticons. I just figured that was probably one of the first ones that they had actually lined up, especially since it lined up pretty much with the release of the base set. I'd imagine that they'll probably go to the rest of the Collecticons, maybe. Maybe SDCC, but maybe not. I don't know if they'd go the first year. Maybe New York Comic Con too. I could see him potentially going to Mothman Festival, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to stick more to the Collecticons either, maybe too, just for the first year. I'm not sure. And I know that they kind of want to branch out, but I'm interested to see what their convention series is. And I want to see if the West Coast gets some love, because traditionally it's mostly East Coast and like Midwest Texas area. So I'm interested to see how much love the West Coast actually gets. The next one's interesting too. Alternate retail options. I don't honestly fully know what that means. Yeah, I don't see. Shout out West. I know, for real. Like, I hope they actually go to a good number, or a couple at least out West, just because, like, I know there was a big MetaZoo group in California, and but like I said, Texas usually gets a lot of love. But yeah, alternate retail options. I don't honestly know what that means. Like maybe in buying MetaZoo in non-traditional places like card shops and stuff. Like alternate retail options. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're going to do any big box things or anything like the old admin did with like Walmart and stuff. That might be what that means, but that's the one part that kind of I was just like, I'm not entirely sure what that means. The next one, actually, okay, there, boom, right there. I was actually going on about the international partners. The next one is international partners. So they will actually, I guess, at that point, then yes, like I was saying, they will actually give us more information about exactly who the European distributor is. Give us some more information actually about the Australian distributor, which I know we in the States, we don't really know who they are. I talked to Dean though, and Dean, he said he loved them. They were great. So it'd be kind of cool just to know exactly who the distributors are, I guess, around the world. I mean, again, like I'm probably never going to order anything though from Europe, but it's still kind of cool just to know actually what the name is. And then the next is future research and development projects. Who knows, friend? They could be talking about maybe more auras. Like I know that they have plans on adding more auras per set. We got that from this thing actually. Ooh, I can show it to you right now. Hold on. This thing, boom, right here. So maybe that's what that's alluding to. Future research and development projects might be at least a tentative maybe aura schedule, or at least what auras are on what they're thinking. I don't know. And see, that's the thing. I can't really speculate honestly on what the future research and development projects could be, because this is going to be building on top of what the information we're going to be getting on the 7th, the world that they're creating on the 7th. Well, the 7th forward, I should say. You're not going to get all this information on the 7th. I need to say that. Don't quote me. But from the 7th until the 29th, we're going to get all of this information. And that's honestly what that, I guess, is talking about, is it's everything moving past like the bigger picture, because the next one does, of course, say the teasers for our first expansion, which would be the second set, which I kind of anticipated some sort of a teaser of something, maybe at least an aura tease, or maybe like one of the big beasties maybe from it. But like what do you say, casting cryptids, future TV animated series, video game online client ooh, okay, so see, I don't, you say future TV animated series, but I feel if they go with the live action launch trailer, it might be a live action type show. I don't know. That might be long form show, might be actually honestly weird. I don't know, but maybe animated shorts. They could totally do something like Overwatch does, where it's like they release like little like 8, 12 minute, 5 minute like little clips every now and then for like all the different things. I mean, hell, even Magic. Well, I don't know if I think they still do it. They release a couple like little videos or so leading up to different sets and stuff like that. So maybe you're right, Catching. Maybe you're right. Actual future project stuff like that. Video game game online. Video game is a little bold, I would say. I don't think they're in a position right now to actually try to be developing a game, like a video game. Like I'm thinking like old school Pokemon Red Blue types. Like I don't know if they're in a position to actually do that. The online client, though, on the other hand, I could potentially see, especially if they use some sort of a backbone from Cryptid Clash, they could potentially try to get an online client on within 6 months to a year. Especially if the gameplay is being simplified, because one of the biggest problems, honestly, with Cryptid Clash was incorporating all of the different effects that all of the different cards did and making them make sense. So if you're getting rid of a lot of the craziness and making it more simple, dude, you're right. Online client, that's a really, really good guess, Catching Cryptids. But yeah, like there was just so much information in that announcement. And then the next part of it here, I'm gonna go back to it just to bring it back up real quick. Where did it go? Here we go. Boom. The next part of it, in late March, we will share the full live action trailer in the lead up to our Street Date and Convention Series kickoff. Live act. I'm just, like I said, I'm still have not been able to articulate how excited I am for just that. For just the live action trailer. The amount, like, because that's the thing too, is that what they show in the trailer is how the universe itself is going to operate. And again, I'm just super excited to actually see that. Communication says, I'm curious to see if they'll keep the red border on the new cards. Me too. Actually, honestly, what color do you guys think that the borders are going to be? Do you think they're going to actually keep the red, or do you think they're going to actually turn it to a different color? I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know how hard, honestly, red is to print. Because I know that was one of the big things too with Retro Zoo, is that if you go and you actually look at your old cards, look at the red borders, not all of them are actually printed consistently. Orange gets no love. Dude, orange is my favorite color. I would love all right, I'm gonna guess that the borders are gonna be orange. That I'm 100% with you, Joseph. That is my favorite color, and that is what I'm going with. But no, seriously, like what do you I know that Dean was saying gray could work. Part of the thing that actually made the MetaZoo kind of slightly iconic was the red border. I don't think the cards moving forward need the red border personally. I mean, I'm literally staring at cards right now. That's why I have to keep looking down. Sorry. I like the red border, and like I said, the red border was one of the things that actually first caught my attention when I was opening up Cryptid Nation. But I'm not completely sold on it. Like, it's not going to be heartbreaking if they don't keep the red border on it. Um, I want to see what the back of the card looks like. I'm more interested to see what that looks like than whatever color they use, honestly, for the borders. How about no borders? That's what I'm talking about. See, like, and that's the thing is that I hope we actually have borderless cards. I that was one of the big things that old admin just did not want to do at all, and I just never understood why. They had such talented artists that could have done amazing landscapes. And some of my favorite cards are the full art terras, like Salem, like the city terra for Salem, or Point Pleasant. Like, those are some of my favorite cards. And I wish we could have actually had some sort of like borderless Cumberland Dragon card or a borderless Pysaw bird. Or, oh my God, like that would just, it would have been amazing. So there you go, Spoken. That's what I feel about no borders. Maybe they go border specific for element type. Okay. Lightning, yellow, earth. Okay. The only issue with that, Charles, is that I don't know if there would be bleed over from like I don't know if I can actually show you, but like on the side of a card, like, if you pick up a side of a card and you look at it, an old MetaZoo card, you're going to see that the line right here on the edge is red, and that's because of the border. So I don't know if they could do different color borders, because you might be able to tell what the next card in your spell book was, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like that somehow could be taken advantage of. But I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, there are other cards. I guess there are other card games, I guess, that do have different color. I don't know. Are there any card games out there that have different colored borders? I'm not sure, but I just feel like there's a way that you could manipulate that. They'd have to specifically make sure that the side of the card, like this right here, was blacked out or something like that. Union Arena. Okay. Yeah, they'd have to make sure that the side of the card perfectly was actually blacked out, or else I feel like that could be taken advantage of. New Gaming Chair says you're itching to buy a Kickstarter box for 1,000. I've only ever opened up one Kickstarter box, and it was for a wonderful guy named Kevin Atlas. I've only ever really seen that one box. It's the only box of Kickstarter ever held in my hand. I'm surprised, honestly, too, that Kickstarter boxes are back up to 1,000. I didn't even realize that. Are they really back up that high? Like the old zoo, like some of the old zoo market has rebounded a little bit. Like I've noticed over the past couple of weeks. I know we're getting sidetracked now, but like samples, for example, I've noticed an uptick in samples actually going back up. I've noticed, I guess, like PSA, like, well, of course, PSA 10s, but like moths and things like that kind of creeping back up a little bit. Seeing TMNT has 3 different colored borders. Okay. Now, are the sides of the card actually blacked out, though, Josh, like I was talking about? That's Mesopotamia. That's my exact thought. Mesopotamia is saying the success of New Zoo will drive legacy up, no doubt. And that's honestly my opinion, is that our old, like, Retro Zoo needs Meta 2 as much as really Meta 2 needs a lot of the older community at the beginning to really help. And our cards, I firmly believe that our old retro cards will be worth money. It's going to take 5-10 years, but that's the thing, is that like the way that they have Meta 2 set up and the way their idea, I see them exploding. And I am not at all an economist. I am not a market speculator. I'm nothing like that. Do not take any sort of financial advice from me at all. Please, you'll lose all your money. Murphy's Law follows me, should be called Rob's Law. But I know there will be a lot of people who probably disagree with me, but the original magic that I felt with Retro Zoo, I know things are different. I know the cards are going to be different. The gameplay is going to be different. And the story is going to be different. But the essence of that magic is the same. If that makes any sort of sense to anybody. The essence of what the soul of MetaZoo was in regards to Retro Zoo, I feel M2 has embraced and is doing everything they can to actually lift it up. And again, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Because of how focused they are, I see MetaZoo getting a shot like it never had before. I see it actually being able to become the thing I always envisioned it could be. And like I don't know. I don't even know where I was going. I'm so excited for the future. And I still can't believe that a year later we're sitting here talking about a new MetaZoo set. Like that almost by itself, to be completely honest, feels like a dream. That we're even sitting here talking about in 7-8 weeks getting a new MetaZoo set. And the more that I see, I do feel like it is in good hands. And I know that not everybody is going to like all of the changes, and that's okay. But all I want to say is give them a shot until you're proven wrong. Until you feel like, okay, I'm done. And then walk away. No one's going to be upset, but just hear them out. Because like I said, like everything I've seen, I can see how they have a clear-cut plan to move forward. TQ says, did you say something earlier about them being in Miami on the 7th? No, TQ. They are going to be in Miami March 29th and 30th for the Miami Collecticon. The base set of MetaZoo drops on March 28th, and they'll actually have some of the product along with alpha demo packs and alpha promo packs. They'll have those at the con. Mesopotamia, hey Turmentic, do you mind if I shoot you a question on the Discord about distro? Of course, my dude. If you want to ask here, you're more than welcome to. I know a little bit, but I've never actually owned a card store, so like I've never had to deal with distro or anything. But yes, feel free to DM me. If I can't help you, I can point you at least into the direction of somebody maybe who can. And like the crazy thing too is that like I know what pre-orders technically I guess went live today for the consumer, because a lot of this information dropped like 2 days ago, and I know that LGSs and online e-commerce and stuff like that, they have been setting up all these accounts trying to get in with these distributors. And I saw a lot of people pop up pre-orders all over the place today, and it seems that the base mark seems to be around like 110 to like 96 or so. An odd cutoff. What you said about online only retailers. Any info on that? Yes. If you go to the Discord and you actually check out the announcement, they actually have listed all 5 of the distributors that they are actually using. Specifically, if you're an online only retailer, reach out to Cardio. I know that they are dealing with a lot of the online only retailers, and they can actually get you set up and processed in order to be able to start putting in allocations for the base set. Pawn Stars MetaZoo episode, we talked about that at the beginning. I love the fact that it literally popped up a month and a half or so before the release of the new set. Like it was perfect timing in my opinion. I've only been a collector, not a player of the game, but something that always bothered me was a tiny text on the cards. Has that ever been a plain? Oh, you preach. Yes. Oh my God, yes. The small text on the cards, and let's not even begin to start talking about the old rule book that was literally the size of a card. You had to sit there and read like bro. I honestly had to pull up the rule book online in order to actually really go through it, just because that little book, it honestly hurt my eyes looking at it. The print was so small. And yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Text is smaller. You're right. But yeah, I saw pre-orders pop up though on Facebook. I saw a couple pop up on Instagram and things like that in various discords. It seems to be that the price is kind of settling around like 110 to like 96, 98. There was one that was actually selling boxes for 80, and I kind of get both sides of that discussion, because on one hand, a lot of people were saying you're tanking the market immediately before the product's out. On the other hand, he was claiming that he was doing it as a way of trying to make sure that people could get product and they could get it at a reasonable price. I love that. I honestly, I know that's an unpopular opinion. I love that. I hope that continues after the release. I hope, because I feel like him specifically, he was actually talking about like he wants to try to kind of honestly give back. And the biggest way that honestly would speak volumes, especially to the community at large, would be to continue doing that after the release, just because I see the initial, and again, market stipulation. I don't know anything. Don't listen to me. I'm not an economist. In my heart, I feel like the first initial orders up to the release are probably going to be smaller. And not because it's a bad product, but because people are still apprehensive. People are still hurt because of what happened in the past. And I get that. I feel that. But I think, no, it's not even I think. I know that once we see this product, once we see how the game is played, people are gonna start buying it. And I really feel like that first week after release, the second and the third week, there every single week, the actual allocations, the people requesting it from the distributors is going to be going up. I that's one of the reasons why I appreciate what he was doing, selling the boxes low, because I know, like I said, some people get upset, but if he's doing that literally, and he was saying the whole thing, the thing that made me actually like the whole conversation was that he said, I'm not trying to make money off of this first release. This first release is literally just to get it in people's hands, in essence, to build a community. So keep doing that. Keep that up. Even past release, like, keep that up. That spoke volumes, my dude. Okay, the comments are going crazy. Yo, everyone, new zoo having QR codes for digital packs. I have not seen a QR code for a digital pack at all. I hope not. Like, until we need physical cards. And once we get physical cards, then they can actually focus on some sort of an online client. Then they can actually introduce something with QR codes if they really want to do digital packs. But this needs to be 100% focused on the physical product. The word pre-order haunts me, bro. Me too. Might have missed it if this was touched on. Charlie had a way for content creators to get product at MSRP or potentially discounted. I haven't heard of any sort of program like that. I don't know what their plan is moving forward with content creators. That's a good question, honestly. That's a good question, because unless you actually are friends with one of the retailers or anything like that, like, it's probably going to be harder to actually get like product at cost. But I'm not sure. That's definitely a solid question. Yeah, that's why I think Basic is going to be short printed until they see how many followers they get. I think it's going to be short printed to begin with. I honestly feel like this is going to be shorter. Like, what was Cryptid Nation was what, 25,000? What was the print run of Kickstarter? Supposedly. I have to say that because they keep finding Kickstarter boxes around the places. So, like, what was the supposed print run of Kickstarter? You got 3 boosters pre-ordered, super deluxe. Nice. 2,500? Was it really that low? Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was. It supposedly, because I don't believe any numbers anymore. All right, then I think it's gonna be well over 2,500. But I definitely think it's gonna be less than Cryptid Nation. I think I'm gonna have to go to Zoo Player to a new Zoo Scalper. Get out of here, Josh. Bro, I actually if I had my taxes already, I would have already ordered it as well. Like, to be completely honest. There are a couple really good shops out there that I actually definitely highly recommend. I would say John from Immortal Workshop is really awesome. Kai from Metakai, Smoke Squad's actually really awesome. You have TCG Island. You have MetaZoo Vault, which is Ryan Hensley, which I'm not sure if he's actually coming back. I don't know if Jacob from Good Luck Have Fun is coming back, but he's the one that got me actually into MetaZoo itself. Like there are tons of great older partners. Dr. Cards is coming back, I believe. Like there's tons of great partners that were that were part of the partner program before that are coming back to actually carry this. And again, going back to the beginning, that's what the whole online e-commerce only section of the distribution stuff was. And I think that's why it took them so long to be able to release the information, was because like they were trying to be able to include those people, which is like I again really appreciate. Let's see. MetaZoo, Josh is saying it's probably 10K. I don't know. 10K seems kind of low to me. It's definitely not going to be over Cryptid Nation print run. I don't think it's going to be Cryptid Nation print run, but 10 is kind of low, I feel. They've been open a lot, and you still find them around Kickstarter. They only gave away 300 away to Kickstarter, so they had a decent amount left over. I don't know, my dude. There seems to be like tons and tons and tons of those boxes. That's all I'm gonna say. There seems to be tons and tons and tons of Kickstarter boxes. Oh no, it's nowhere near. No. 50K, like what? 50K what? You talking about the new zoo 50K print run? No, there's no way. There's no way. Like I said, I'll say it's gonna probably be over 10, which was your guess, and under Cryptid Nation, which was 25K. Just because they're probably going to go, like we were saying, they are probably going to go smaller and a little bit slimmer on the first set. I say slimmer, but the set itself has over 200 cards. You saw that actually in the thingy right here. It says over 200 cards in this set right here. So Charles is saying 15 to 18K. That's a good guess, I would say. Remember, Waddell kept 25% of each print run. Jay, worry. I'm not saying you're right, but I'm not saying I disagree with you, my friend. Communication says, I wonder if the new zoo will keep Sam, Rose, and Adam or just focus more on the creatures and start a completely new storyline. That's kind of what I've been asking for the last like 2 months or so. I have no idea, to be honest. Even if they don't use, and I've been saying this the last couple weeks, and so I've been more vocal with it. Even if they don't use the Sam, Adam, and Rose story, I still have an entire outline of the Cryptid Nation story from meeting at the beginning of the book all the way up to them leaving Cryptid Nation to go to Yokai. I have an entire outline of that I actually developed over the last year. So I'm going to probably at least semi-write it. But I don't know if and that's only if M2 decides that they're not actually going to use the story, because I don't know. I love the story still. But that's the thing though, is that like I know this is going to be weird coming from me. I said it a couple streams ago. If you take all of the content that the community made, okay, every single piece of content, we're talking Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, artwork, whatever, and you take it all away, you know what you're left with when it comes to MetaZoo storyline that we were given. The 5 comics and the 7 or 8 webtoons. That's it. We weren't given a story. The community created a story, but we were not given a story. So even though I want to know the Sam, Rose, and Adam story, well, I want to explain the Sam, Adam, and Rose story, I should say, I am okay with them exploring what MetaZoo is. That's the first thing, honestly, I remember Charlie saying when he was talking with Nick, is like, what is MetaZoo? And I'm okay with them reinventing what that means, because we never really were given concrete information. Like, what is casting? Like, we were kind of given some information on magic potential, but not fully fleshed out. And we were kind of told how beasties were contracted, but the only time we ever saw something contracted was by accident with Sam when Ding Bell. So there was a lot that was missing in essence. So I'm okay with them not using the Sam, Rose, and Adam story, as long as I have permission to actually write it myself. Let's say that. As long as they don't care if I actually write the story myself, whatever. I think that's it though. I think we covered, let me just double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, so yeah, I didn't read the last little bit. Actually, let me read the last little bit real quick. Boom. Ciao. March 29th, meet us in Miami for the first convention stop where we will have artist signings, promotional giveaways, including 2025 convention series promos and an exclusive poster, alpha demo packs and alpha promo packs, limited quantity, and base set product while supplies last. Okay, so they're going to be at Collecticon on the 29th. Love the idea that they have artists coming. I hope that we actually have new artists, some of the new artists, because you got to remember they hired 50 new artists from around the world to work on the base set. So I'm hoping we actually get some new artists actually that would show up. That would be amazing to meet some of them. This caught my attention. Promotional giveaways, including 2025 convention series promos and an exclusive poster. We were told about the alpha demo packs and the alpha promo packs. Okay, we were told about those two. This makes it sound like there is a convention series promo also that's there, which is kind of cool, and a poster, which I'm interested to know if the poster is going to be different depending on the con that they're at. I don't know. So that's kind of cool, and like it's an entire series of promos that are separate from the alpha demo packs and the alpha promo packs. And again, I don't know. I really want to see some of the alpha demo packs and the alpha promo packs. I want to see actually what's in them. And let me actually go to it today. Yeah, the sheep squash that we actually got today. The spoiler, it actually says an earth creature from the alpha demo pack. So we know one of the cards that's actually in that. That's kind of cool. It does say limited quantity though, so I don't know how many that means they're going to have each day or anything like that, or if they're only going to have a certain amount each con, whatever. But the other cool thing though too is that if for some reason you can't find product, but you are in Miami and can come to the Collecticon, they'll have some of the base set product there. So that's kind of cool. They'll actually have some of that product there as well. What do we got over here? Bring Poncho. Yeah. Poncho is back, actually. Poncho actually was the first artist, I believe, they actually announced back in, like early February or late December or so. But yeah, his flashlight frog. Actually, I think I actually have that. Oh no, it's the one I got rid of. His flashlight frog actually is the first art that they actually teased us with and spoiled. So far, I think we've gotten Poncho, Kelsey, Lily because of the ding bell, and Jet back. No word on Seb yet. And where's my boy Isaac? Bring Isaac back. Hashtag bring Isaac back. I love Isaac. I fell in love with Isaac when it was Earth Tower, because I walked out of the gala and I started just talking to him, and I was talking to him for a solid 10-20 minutes before I actually knew who he was, because I had never met him before. I didn't know what he looked like, and like I'll never forget that. So like I love that guy. He's awesome. But yeah, so Seb and Isaac have not been announced or asked. I don't know. We haven't seen anything from them. I honestly doubt Afton's probably coming back. Just because like I know there was some drama from back in the day, which most people from the old community actually knows. But yeah, we got Jet, we have Poncho, we have Kelsey, and we have Lily. One of the artists that I'm one of the most excited about actually is Emily Nancy. I've watched Emily Nancy do so much work, and I'm so excited that she actually is making MetaZoo art now officially as an artist. Like, shout out to Emily Nancy. Art by Emily Nancy. Go follow her on Instagram if you're not yet. Love her stuff. But yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else really to talk about. That's the entirety of the announcement. Like I said, we did actually get, I might be able to actually upload that and show you guys, but you've probably already seen it, but whatever, we're going to cover it anyways. The art for Sheep Squatch. Oh, there we go. It's nice. And like, just, I seemed like the only one that was kind of excited about this. The artist that actually did this, his name is well, his account is Magic Jack Art. Dude has 141,000 followers on Instagram because of his art. Like that's that's huge. Those are big boy numbers. Um so yeah, that's crazy. I love that, like, they're using some of the not established artists, but they're also using more like more established artists. There was the one that actually had done work for, I believe, Wizards at one point. Not Wizards, sorry, Blizzards at one point. I love the diversity of the art that they've been bringing, and the diversity of talent that they've actually been bringing to the table too. And again, remember, we've only seen like 17 or 18 different artists, and they hired over 50. I know it was 50. I want to say it was over 50, but at least 50 artists from around the world. So we haven't even seen half. We haven't even been introduced to half of these new artists. So that's what gets me excited. I just, there's so much that's coming, and coming quickly, and like I can't wait. This, and it reminds me, honestly, of something that was said a couple weeks ago, where this is the last time we will ever have a dry spell. This is the last time where we won't ever have some sort of a product in our hands, looking forward to a product, talking about gameplay, talking about actual like mechanics in the game, talking about the stories, the lore, the characters, the cryptids. This is the last time that we will have nothing before we move forward. And like, just buckle up. It is on, and like, we have 7 weeks and counting. Enjoy this downtime is what I keep telling myself, because as soon as this stuff hits the ground, I man, we are extremely fortunate to be able to experience this twice. And I know people are going to act, but I'm getting as excited, if not more excited, leading up to this base set than what we had with RetroZoo, because it feels real, and I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it feels real. Like there is a plan, there is a strategy, and the more that we just have patience, the more we start seeing of that. So I'm excited. I honestly think this is going to be the shot that MetaZoo always deserved. That the shot that it should have had in the first place. And every single person that's in these comments right here, every single person that has enjoyed anything to do with MetaZoo, this, I feel, is what we deserve. Because even if by some chance MetaZoo would have continued, it was just a matter of time, in my opinion. They were always going to hit some roadblock, and it just so happened they hit this roadblock and they couldn't go past it this time. I don't see that happening with M2. Like, I don't see that happening with who's in charge of GameCubator, who's working with M2. Like, it's a completely different ball game. It's a completely different league. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I hope you guys are too. And yeah, I can't wait. Anybody have any other questions or anything though before I call it quits? I am probably going to go live sometime this weekend. I have where's it at? Ooh, right here. I have a pink Kuromi box, the black and pink one. I want to open, and I'm actually getting some Seance blisters as well too. So I'll probably go live sometime Saturday, Sunday. I'm not sure exactly when. I'm going to have to wait till we get more information before we do probably another like Let's Talk or anything like that. But feel free to hit me up on the DMs if you have any questions or anything like that. And yeah, get excited because again, this is the last downtime we're going to have before everything just takes off. But yeah, my name's Turmentic. You guys are amazing. I love you guys, and I'll see you this weekend.